Welcome to the second session of pharmaceutical chemistry. Okay, in this pharmaceutical terminology, I am going to discuss about the classification of drugs. Students, I have already discussed that a drug may be a chemical substance which is used to prevent, cure, diagnosis from a disease. It relieves us from a disease. I have already discussed about the characteristics of a drug. What are the characteristics of a drug? A drug should not be a toxic. It should have minimum side effects. It should not injure host tissues. Okay, now it should be cost effective. So I have already discussed about the definition of the drug and its characteristics in the previous video. Now in this video I am going to explain about the classification of drugs. Okay, based on the criteria, drugs are classified into two different types. One is based on the chemical structure criteria and the other one is therapeutic action. Now let us focus on the classification of drugs based on the chemical structure. Okay, drugs based on the chemical structure was classified in the some years ago. Okay, now this classification was extensively used some years ago and it is still used as some drugs have different functional groups. Okay, depending upon the functional group present in a particular drug molecule, they are classified as. So, depending upon the functional group present in the drug, drugs are classified. This is one type of the classification. Of course, it was an earlier classification, right? For example, the functional groups are alcohols. So, the drugs which are containing alcohol functional groups are categorized into alcohols type of drugs. Okay, now, and amides. The drugs containing amide functional groups are of one type. Amidins. The drugs containing amidin group of class are one type. Amines, amino acids, amino ethers, ammonium ketones, azo compounds, enols, esters, ethers, glycosides, halogenated compounds, hydrocarbons, ketones, lactones, and nitro compounds, phenols. So, the drugs which contain phenol functional group are classified into one type. Phenones, semicarbazones, stilbenes, sulfonamides, sulfones, thiols, urea, urethanes, urites, etc. So, for example, if a drug contains esters functional group, so all the drugs which contain ester functional groups are categorized into one type. For example, they contain halogenated compounds. So, the drugs which are containing all the halogenated compounds are classified as one type. For example, if they contain nitro compounds, so the drugs which contain nitro compounds are classified as one type. So, based on the chemical structure, drugs are classified as one type of drugs which are based on the chemical structure of the drugs. Okay. Of course, this is an earlier classification, but this was the first classification of drugs based on chemical structure. Now, the major flow of this classification is that the drugs which are having some therapeutic action are grouped under different classes and the drugs which are having different therapeutic action are grouped under same class. Okay, I have discussed about the drugs of classification of drugs based on functional group. Now, the important classification is based on therapeutic action. Okay, the activity of the drug, for what the drug is used, how the drug is used, and for which disease the drug commonly is used. Based on its therapeutic activity, the drugs are also classified into different types. Okay, for example, on the basis of therapeutic action, drugs are classified into two groups. One is chemotherapeutic agents and the other one is thermodynamic agents. Okay, pharmacodynamic agents. Chemotherapeutic agents and pharmacodynamic agents. Okay, students, let us discuss about the first type, chemotherapeutic agent. Okay, according to a scientist Paul Ehrlich, chemotherapy means drugs do not act unless they bind. Drugs do act because they bind. Very important point, students. Drugs do not act unless they bind. Drugs do act because they bind. Drugs are called magic bullets. I have already discussed that when a drug enters into our body, it binds to receptor. Its action will be done if it binds to receptor, and its action will not be done if it does not binds to receptor. So this is the quotation is given by a scientist, Paul Ehrlich. Chemotherapy means nothing but drugs do not act unless they bind, they act if they bind. Okay. Chemotherapy may also defined as the treatment of disease by chemicals which selectively inhibit the growth of parasitic organisms. The drugs which are used in the treatment and cure of specific diseases are called chemotherapeutic agents. Okay, for example, if a disease is caused in our body due to parasites, due to harmful bacteria, due to harmful virus, okay, all the drugs are treated using all the diseases are treated using some drugs. These kind of drugs are categorized under chemotherapeutic agents. These drugs are categorized under chemotherapeutic agent. One of the example is malaria, tuberculosis, etc. Let us look into deep of these chemotherapeutic agents. The chemotherapeutic agents attack and destroy the invading organisms without injuring or destroying the cell of infected host. I have already told about the characteristic of a drug. The drug should not injure the host tissues. It has to do its work and come out of the host tissues. It should not injure host tissues. Our chemotherapeutic agents also does not injure the host tissues. They just attack the organism, the parasite which is responsible for the disease, and kill the bacteria and come outside. They do not injure the host tissues, which is a characteristic of an ideal drug. Okay, the various chemotherapeutic agents may be further divided into the following types. So let us learn about different types of chemotherapeutic agents. One of the type is anti-malarial. Students, I hope all of you are aware that malaria fever is attacked by a parasite. Okay, mosquito. Okay, mosquito, due to the bite of a harmful mosquito, okay, due to that plasmodium species, we'll get malaria. Okay, to cure from that malaria, from that disease, we have to take anti-malarial drugs, right? Let us discuss about that anti-malarial drugs. Anti-malarials are the drugs which cure or prevent malaria, as we already know, as these drugs act at different stages of the life cycle of organisms. They are classified into different classes. The drugs which have taken to cure malaria act at different life cycles of that microorganisms. They invade and they destroy that microorganisms. Okay. They are classified into different life cycle of organisms. They are classified into different classes. They are spogocytes, erythrocytic schizanocytes, erythrocytic schizanotocytes, gametocytes, aponotocytes, etc. These are different life cycles of that organisms which are attacked by our anti-malarial drugs. What are the anti-malarial drugs which are broadly divided into some chemical classes? The widely used anti-malarial drugs are broadly divided into the following chemical classes. Let us learn about that chemical classes. Syncorol alkaloid, which is an alkaloid, 4-aminoacridins, 8-aminoquinolines, 8-aminoacridins, bigonidins, pyrimidins. Okay, but the common drug which is used for malaria, to cure malaria, the anti-malarial drug which is very famous and common is chloroquine. If you observe the structure, students, the benzene ring is clubbed with a pyridine ring. Okay, two benzene rings, one benzene ring is homocyclic and the other benzene ring is heterocyclic, which contains N. Okay, in 7th position you have chloro. Okay, and the NH is attached to an alkyl chain CH3, CH, CH2, 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 and N, N diethyl amine group also is present. Okay, this is the structure of chloroquine which is used as an anti-malarial drug. So what you have learned from this is, students, the malaria is caused by many species So the anti-malarial drug act at different stages of life cycle of that organism to kill that bacteria. The commonly used anti-malarial drug is chloroquine. Let us move into the next chemotherapeutic agents, antibacterials, which are known as sulfur drugs. Antibacterial sulfur drugs. These are synthetic chemotherapeutic agents which contain sulfonamide, SO2 NH2 group in their structure. They are widely used for bacterial infections in human. Okay, lot of us suffers from itching, irritation on the skin, allergies. These all are due to because of bacteria. They may be due to inner bacteria or outside. If we fell down somewhere, we face some wound there. So there will be infection because of that open exposure of our skin to bacteria. So that wound may get some pus and allergy like that. So what I am saying is, bacteria may enter into our body to create skin problems, or we may fall down somewhere to create external skin problems. I mean internal skin problems or external skin problems. Skin problems may arise due to the bacteria which entered inner to our body to create nuisance, irritation, and it may be due to wound, attack, the bacteria which attacks our wounds. Okay, for that, in that cases we use antibacterial drugs, that is sulfur drugs. Okay, they are prepared synthetically, and sulfur drugs are nothing but which contain SO2 NH2 groups. Okay, they are also found to be active against certain gram positive and gram negative bacteria. Okay, the commonly used antibacterial drug is sulfanilamide. The commonly used anti-malarial drug is, students, chloroquine, and the commonly used antibacterial drug is sulfanilamide. As you look into the structure of sulfanilamide, you have benzene ring with NH2, and exact to the para position you have SO2 NH2 also. Benzene ring with NH2, and exactly to the para position you have SO2 NH2 also. NH2 and SO2 NH2. Okay, students. Next, anti-protozoal drugs. Okay, students. So you learned about antibacterials, antimalarials. Don't forget anti-malaria, which act against malaria fever. Example, chloroquine. Antibacteria, which are known as sulfur drugs. For example, sulfanilamide. And the third one is anti-protozoals. Disease caused by protozoa are not as widespread as bacteria and viral disease. This category includes Anisotropia, Trypanocaudal, Trichomoniasis, malaria, etc. Okay, this disease is caused by protozoa and they are not spread widely like bacteria, virus, etc. And commonly used drug for amoebiasis is Sinofon. Sinofon is commonly used drug for antibacterial disease, students. If you observe, you have a SO3H group, I group, OH group and N group. These are all the important groups which are present in anti-protozoal drugs. Remember this. This act against amoebiasis. Next, antibacterial drug. Very important, students. These are the substances which are produced by the microorganisms. Commonly used antibiotic is ampicillin. Because microorganisms are of two types, students. Useful microorganisms and harmful microorganisms. Harmful microorganisms are the organisms which attacks our body to create some nuisance, to create some disease in our body. But useful microorganisms are the microorganisms which helps our body. For example, antibiotics are prepared from that kind of useful bacteria. Okay, the famous one is penicillin. Nowadays we made a lot of changes in that, and we are using it as ampicillin. Okay, students, if you observe the structure of this ampicillin, you have a benzene ring with CH NH2, C double bond O NH, and CH N C double bond O, and a lactam ring. This called as beta lactam ring. Beta lactam ring. Very important, students. You have to remember this structure. You have to practice it many times. You will remember this structure. These are the important antibiotics. Okay, this is called beta lactam ring structure. The structure consists of a benzene and a beta lactam ring. So this is a famous antibiotic ampicillin which is used against harmful microorganisms. Next, antifungals. Similar to bacterial infection, fungus infection is also very common, students. Antifungal agents are used in variety of fungal infections. Some are active orally while others are mostly applied topically in forms of ointments, creams, etc. Example of antifungal drug is salicylic acid. We have lot of fungal infections, worm infections, ringworm infections. We call it in Telugu as tamara, right? Ringworm infections and some itching on the skins always. Okay, we think that we may arise that problems due to some food. For example, some people think that if you take brinjals and if we eat over non-veg, we will face that type of fungal infections. But people, those who do not take this type of diet also, they face antifungal infections. They are not because of due to the eating of that type of vegetables or meat, but they may be due to the fungus which attacked our body. So they may be applied topically on skin. In further classes, I'll teach the type of drugs, how the drugs are administered. They may be taken through mouth, or they may be applied on skin, or they may be taken by injection. All these things I'll explain in later classes. Antifungal drug is mainly used as an ointment, students. Antifungal is, for example, I have given is salicylic acid. Salicylic acid. If you see here, salicylic acid, benzene ring with COOH and OH. Okay, we can call it also as orthohydroxybenzoic acid. We also call it as orthohydroxy and benzoic acid. Next, antihelmintics. Helminthiasis is broadly a class of disease caused by parasitic worms. Different types of effect on human beings and animals. They have different type of effects on human beings and animals also. These drugs are used to remove the infecting worms from the host. These are called antihelminthics. Protozoals are different. They are attacked by protozoa. These helminthics are different because they destroy these parasitic worms, affect our host cells, host tissues. In Telugu we call it as Atideya Kanalu, right? Host tissues. Okay. They attack our host tissues. They infect our host tissues. So, antihelmintics are the drugs which relieve us from that disease. For example, dichlorofen. Dichlorofen is used against the infection caused by tapeworms. We have different worms. We have different names to that. So, I can't give all those names. One of that worm name is tapeworm, and against that worm a drug acts which is nothing but dichlorofen. If you observe the structure of dichlorofen, same. This is a mirror image to this, and in between you have a CH group. Okay, you can remember that benzene ring with OH and Cl. This half of this structure is a mirror image of other half. You can remember in this way antichlorofen. Let us move into the next class, antiseptic. We will always listen this word because if anyone has met with an accident or a minor thing with a nail, we think that we have to take antiseptic injections. Let us know in deep about that word, antiseptic. An antiseptic is a substance which prevents the growth of microorganisms as long as it remains in contact with them. The ideal antiseptic would destroy bacteria, spores, fungi, virus and other infective agents without harming the tissues of the host. The use of antiseptic is the medicine is always local because of system toxicity with these agents produce. Okay. Iodoform CHI3 is generally used as antiseptic in dressing for wounds, but since it caused local irritation, Iodol is used in its place. Okay, for the first aid, we generally used antiseptics, right? We clean it with the iodine like liquid. Okay, what here we are saying is they will not disturb another tissues. They will not destroy the host tissues, and the action of antiseptics is, if you take antiseptics, the action of antiseptics is localized, students. Its action is localized. Okay, antiseptics is very important for us for the first aid treatment. We generally used CHI3 iodoform, but it is causing some irritation. So in that place we are using iodol. Iodoform is nothing but CHI3, students. Iodoform is CHI3. We have chloroform, bromoform, okay, all those things. CHI3 is iodoform, but this iodoform is creating some local irritation. So in this place we have taken iodol. This is furan ring, right, students? Furan ring 2, 3, 4, 5 position is occupied by iodine. This ring is called furan nucleus. Furan nucleus, and 2, 3, 4, 5 position is occupied by iodines. This also called as 2, 3, 4, 5 tetraiodofurane also, and it is known as iodol. Next, organometallic therapeutic agents. We have learned about OMGs, organometallic compounds. We have learned about the preparations, properties, and their uses in previous semester, students. But organometallic therapeutic agents are also used, drugs. They are also used as drugs. Let us learn about this, students. Number of organometallic compounds, particularly those of arsenic, antimony, bismuth, mercury and gold, have been used in medicine from a long time. Okay, students, all organometallics are very toxic, even therapeutically. Their usage is also toxic. They are used as disinfectants only because of their greater relative toxicity to those parasitic organisms than the host. Because of their toxicity, they are very toxic towards parasitic organisms. Because of their toxicity, they are used, students. Okay, inorganic arsenic compounds have been known since ancient times as toxic and in the treatment of anemia. Anemia means we are suffering with disease related to blood. Okay, some salts of cacodolic acid are still used for the treatment of anemias. Cacodolic, I have here the word somewhere. This is the first organic metallic compound which has been invented by the scientist. Okay, this is used for the treatment of ammonia. If you observe, the center one is arsenic with OH and a dative bond with O and 2 alkyl groups. Arsenic with OH and 2 alkyl groups and a O. This is the structure of organometallic therapeutic agent cacodolic, which is used for the treatment of ammonia. This is. Next, let us move into the next one, anti-tubercular drug. TB. Okay, the drugs which act against TB are called anti-tubercular drug. This disease is a very old disease, students, which is caused in man by organisms such as Mycobacterium tuberculosis and Mycobacterium bovis. Okay, tubercle bacilli is found to affect any organ or tissue in the body, but the most common is the tuberculosis of lungs. It can affect any organ of our body, students, but most common and famous thing is tuberculosis of lungs. The disease may vary in intensity from the latent tuberculosis to acute generalized tuberculosis, in which bacteria are widely distributed in large numbers throughout the body, which without treatment is very fatal. Okay, there are different chemotherapeutic agents used for this disease. Okay, students, TB drug is very widespread. Okay, students, and commonly used anti-tubercular drug is para-amino-salicylic acid. In shortcut, we call it as PAS, PAS. Okay, para-amino-salicylic acid. If you observe, you have a benzene nucleus in the center connected with NH2 group and COOH group and OH. Three functional groups: amino functional group, acid functional group, and OH functional group. Okay, students, it is remarkably selective against human tubercular bacilli. It is this drug is selective against that particular human tubercular bacilli. Next, anti-leprosy drug. In olden days, humans are very fear of that leprosy, because in olden days they felt that if anyone touches a leprosy attacked person, will also suffer with the same disease. But anti-leprosy drugs were created, which have been a good news and relaxation from that type of disease. Okay, leprosy is a slow endemic disease which is caused by Mycobacterium leprae. Okay, the development of an infection takes many years to become permanent, and the progress of medication is found to be slow. The medication is found to be very slow, and the famous drug which is used for anti-leprosy, for use to treat against leprosy, is Dapsone. Dapsone is DDS, is used in the treatment of both lepromatous and tuberculoid type of leprosy. They are used to treat leprosy. If you observe the drug Dapsone, diamino diphenyl sulfone, NH2 group, diamino, this is diphenyl sulfone. Okay, this is an anti-leprosy drug. Next, anti-neoplastic drug. These are the drugs which are used in the treatment of disease called cancer. Right, students? The cancer is a form of abnormal development which transforms the normal cells into cancerous cells. Okay, cancer is a tumor, which means an unusual amount of growth or enlargement of a tissue due to the unlimited and uncontrolled repeated divisions of some cells. Okay, it is unnecessary enlargement of some tissues. Okay, students, cancer is very dangerous. Of course it is a life-death disease, life-risk disease. Okay, chlorambucil is the slowest in action and least toxic. It is generally used as chronic lymphocytic leukemia. Leukemia is nothing but the persons which are suffering from cancer. Cancer is also called as leukemia, students. So this is the drugs which generally act as. Nowadays we are using radiations of some frequency of some length, and frequencies to overcome these drugs, to overcome this type of cancers. We are using radiations to cure cancer, but we also prefer some drugs like chlorambucil, but it's very slow, it's in action and least toxic. Okay, the drug which has taken for cancer, their actions are not localized. So these are the important classification of drugs based on chemotherapeutic agents. So I just revise the class, students. Drugs are classified into two types based on the chemical structure and based on therapeutic action. Based on chemical structure, I have already told, depending upon the functional groups, they are classified into alcohols, amines, amines, semicarbazones, phenols, etc. And based on chemotherapeutic action, we have learned about 11 different diseases and 11 different drugs. Let us revise one time, students. Anti-malarial. What is the drug, students? Do you remember? It is caused due to, it is a fever. Malaria is a fever which is attacked by a mosquito, and the drug which is used is chloroquine. Very good, students. Antibacterial. Antibacterial drugs are also known as sulfur drugs, students, and the drug which we learned here is sulfanilamide, students. These are the synthetic chemotherapeutic agents, students. Okay, this act against microorganisms, bacteria growth, students. Antiprotozoal, Sinofan. Okay, This is act against protozoa students. Antibiotic. This is a special drug students. Let us make one video. I specially do one video for this antibacterial drugs, antibiotic students. Penicillin, which is very important. We call it as ampicillin, but for first they discovered penicillin, penicillin G, penicillin K, penicillin V. We will also learn all the structures of that penicillin students. Antibiotic is something special which is created from useful microorganisms to kill harmful microorganisms. Itself is prepared from a microorganisms to kill microorganism, but it is prepared from useful microorganism to kill harmful microorganism. Antifungal agents students, we are using salicylic acid which act against fungus. Anti-helminthic students, we use dichlorofen which is used against parasitic worms. Antiseptic students, I told previously we are using iodoform students. Again against antiseptic is used against microorganisms. Okay, and previously we used iodoform, but now we are using, due to irritation we are using iodol. And organometallic therapeutic agent students, cacodylic acid which is used for the treatment of anemia. Okay, anti-tubercular drug students, PAS, para-amino salicylic acid. Okay, this is an anti-tubercular drug which is act against tuberculosis. Anti-leprosy, for example DDS, diamino diphenyl sulfone, which is a drug which act against anti-leprosy students. Anti-neoplastic drug students, which is nothing but chlorambucil, which is very slowest in action, which is used for anti-neoplastic drug students, which used to treat cancer students. Okay students, these are all the things about the classification of drug students. In this class we have learned only one wing of the classification of drug students based on chemotherapeutic agents. Let us learn the drugs which are classified based on pharmacodynamic agents in the next video students. I hope this subject is a very new to us students. We have to just learn terminology, we have to practice the structures, we have to remember the drugs. I hope all of you are aware of that terminology. In the first video is very important students. You have to aware of that pharmacy, pharmacology terms, host cell terms. You have to know meaning of all those terms. What are microorganisms, what is fungus, what is virus, etc. Thank you very much for watching this video students. Let us meet in the next video. Thank you students.